If your 2017 to 2019 Honda Ridgeline is experiencing a black or flickering screen in reverse, do not replace the rearview camera unit until you check the tailgate wiring harness. It is the most common mistake owners and even some independent shops make with this truck. You see a dead camera feed and assume the eye at the back of the truck has failed. You spend hundreds on a new camera, swap it out, and the screen stays black. The real culprit isn't the camera lens or the electronics inside the tailgate handle. It is a physical failure of the wiring buried deep inside the tailgate hinge mechanism. Today, we are going to break down why the obvious fix of replacing the camera is almost always a waste of money. We will look at the specific engineering defect that Honda spent years investigating. We will explain how the Ridgeline's most famous feature is actually what kills its safety systems, and most importantly, we will reveal exactly what this repair costs if you are paying out of pocket versus what the official recall covers. Stick around because the cost cliffhanger at the end might save you over $1,000 at the dealership. This issue specifically targets the 2017, 2018, and 2019 Honda Ridgeline. If you own one of these second-generation trucks, you likely bought it for the dual-action tailgate. It is a brilliant piece of engineering that allows the tailgate to drop down like a traditional truck or swing out like a door. However, that versatility comes with a hidden cost. Every time you swing that gate open or drop it down, a specific bundle of wires is being twisted and pulled. Over 3 or 4 years of ownership, those copper strands reach their breaking point. The symptoms usually start small. You might notice the backup camera image flickers for a split second when you shift into reverse. Maybe it only happens when you are parked on an incline. Eventually, the flickering turns into a static or snowy image, or the screen turns bright blue. In the final stage of failure, the infotainment system simply gives up. When you slide the gear selector into reverse, the screen either stays on the home menu or displays a message saying camera system error or camera disconnected. Many drivers assume this is a software glitch. They try pulling the fuse for the infotainment system or performing a factory reset on the head unit. While a reset might temporarily clear a frozen screen, it cannot fix a physical break in a copper wire. Owners on forums and Reddit have reported frustration after trying multiple software updates. If you want to diagnose this yourself, there is a simple wiggle test you can perform. With the truck in on mode but the engine off, have a partner watch the screen while you slowly operate the tailgate. If the camera feed cuts in and out as you swing the gate open or drop it down, you have confirmed the harness is failing. This proves the camera itself is fine. It just isn't getting the signal or power it needs. Behind the scenes, American Honda Motor Company knew this was a growing problem. They actually issued a request for information to their dealer network. This is a formal engineering investigation where Honda asks technicians not to touch the truck until a field engineer can see it. They wanted to see these trucks in their as-failed state. They were looking for the exact point of fatigue where the wires were snapping. They found that the protective corrugated tubing was too stiff and the wire length was slightly too short. This investigation eventually led to a massive safety recall, officially known as Recall 22V867. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration got involved because a dead backup camera is a violation. Specifically, it fails to meet the rear visibility requirements meant to protect pedestrians. Because it became a federal safety issue, Honda was forced to move beyond simple service bulletins. The engineering failure is fascinating because of how the Ridgeline is built. In a normal truck, the harness only has to hinge in one direction. In the Ridgeline, the harness has to accommodate 2 different pivot points. The wires are constantly being tugged in ways they weren't fully tested for in long-term scenarios. Over time, the outer insulation of the wires cracks, and the copper inside begins to fray. In real-world owner experiences, this has caused some serious headaches. Some owners reported that when the camera harness shorted out, it actually caused network noise that affected other parts of the truck's electronics. Others spent months driving without a camera because the parts for the revised harness were on national backorder. If you find a used 2017 to 2019 Ridgeline for sale, checking the recall status should be first. If your truck is covered under the recall, the repair direction is very specific. Dealers are instructed to remove the old tailgate wire harness and replace it with a newly designed version. This updated part uses a more flexible outer wrapping and a different routing path to reduce the tug when the tailgate is swung open. This is not a patch or a solder job. Now let's talk about the cost and the solution if you are outside the recall parameters. If you take your Ridgeline to an independent shop, you are looking at roughly 2 to 3 hours of labor. At a standard independent labor rate of $95 per hour, plus the cost of the updated harness and taxes, your total bill will likely land between $450 and $600. If you go to a Honda dealership and the vehicle is not covered, the price jumps significantly. Dealership labor rates often hover around $145 per hour. Between the premium price for the OEM harness and the higher labor costs, a dealership repair can easily reach $850 to $1,100. This is why it is critical to check your VIN first. Most 2017 to 2019 models are covered, and you shouldn't have to pay a dime. Have you dealt with a blue screen or a flickering camera on your Ridgeline? Let us know in the comments if the recall fixed it for good. Like this video if it helped you save money and subscribe for more deep dives into the defects the manufacturers don't want you to overlook.